Welcome to Spiritual Principles with Awakened Leaders. My name is Christoph Melchizedek. This session we're talking about intentionality. Intentionality is absolutely a key principle because everything you choose to create comes from the field of intent. Intention drives everything in life. And intention is a much deeper level than a goal or a direction. It comes from a complete vibrational alignment to the void. What is the void, and why is connecting to the void important? The void is linked to the unmanifested realm. 99.96% of all creation is the unmanifested realm, the black velvet void of pure potentiality, the primordial energy of creation. For creation starts in the dark, not the light. And intentionality in your own, let's say, field and consciousness resides in your hara. And your hara is a dimension deeper than the auric field. For those of you that are aware, of course, you have different levels of your bioenergy field and different chakras that operate at different wavelengths. Each chakra operates at the same wavelength as a different level of your auric field. And deeper than that, you have your hara. There I go, in hara. I naturally always reside in hara now, but what I'm going to do is come out of hara and show you what that feels like. I'm going to expand, and now I'm sort of a little bit more out of hara. I'm much more in my auric field. And what you'll notice is I feel a lot more floaty. Do you feel that? Yes, that is me in the auric field floating around there, not a normal space for me to normally operate. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my consciousness now more down and centered and activate my hara. And there I go in my hara. Can you feel the difference of my power and my presence and my connectivity is because I'm in the hara dimension as well as the aura at the same time. And when you can live in the hara, you are constantly in that void of pure potentiality, of the primordial energy of creation. So one of the interesting things on co-creation with spirit is that God or source or prime creator sparks things and sends intentionality into the void. It gets picked up by you with your hara according to your pre-birth soul agreements, and it resides in your hara dimension and then wells up to your auric field and starts to drop down the layers of the field into creation and gets left as a trail of DNA signatures through the biophoton light emission emanating from your DNA. The hara is your point where you connect to intention. Intentionality you can drop into the hara, and as that intentionality drops into the hara, it has a catalyzing effect on everything around you. A great exercise I teach my students in the Neo-Shamanic Society, a healing school that we created, is the use of a pendulum. And with a pendulum, using your intent, you can move the pendulum clockwise, you can move it left and right, you can move it up and down or diagonal, and the pendulum will react to your intention. And it's a wonderful training exercise to show you just how powerful intention is and how it drives everything in life. One of the things with intentionality is that you have to be very clear about your intention. Sometimes when I've been working with clients, I notice these subtle split intentions. You may have recognized some of these from your past. I know I used to have split intentions in the past, literally linked to aspects of fear, anxiety, or worry about what might happen in the future. For example, I remember being in a relationship that I didn't feel aligned with, but was too scared to get out. So there was a part of me that wanted to get out of the relationship and a part of me that wanted to stay in it. And that created a split in my intentionality, and also over time creates a split in the hara. One of the things that we must do as an awakened leader is have a positive that's positively aligned to our soul purpose, not necessarily ego, positive, aligned, aligned into the direction we want to go and not split. Having a full alignment of the intention is important, so we have a beautiful connection to that. We have a positive, aligned, then surrendered and effortless intention. And surrender is important because very often the old leadership model that was built, that created hierarchy, was a top-down leadership approach that created verticality in organizations that set in direction and intent from a leader, but with control. And this is what the management systems were all about, was controlling the staff and the talent to be able to perform certain tasks and check the management of all of that, rather than allowing them to come and execute and complete things from their own inspiration. And that did require levels of management. And that's because the levels of management were in a typical hierarchy of organization is built of mistrust of people not completing their tasks and taking personal responsibility for it. As an awakened leader, if you choose to create a more dynamic organization that's built off synarchy, you begin to create an attractive field to align people to your organization, built up off the inspiration of the visionary purpose. And then they begin to organize themselves based upon that intent. They connect to the vibration of the intention of the hara of the organization. What creates the hara of the organization? You, as an awakened leader. It is an extension of yourself, and you join others together with that hara, so the hara of the organization gets stronger and stronger, and people organize themselves off the signature of the hara, which begins to organize and catalyze behaviors in full alignment with the visionary purpose. So the hara is important in intentionality, and what's important as an awakened leader is becoming positive, aligned, effortless, and surrendered in your intentionality, so that your intentionality sets up the hara of an organization that others can join into and organize themselves around. If there are splits in your own hara, if there are splits in your own intention, that leads to challenges and issues down the line as people then begin to organize themselves off a split intent or a fractured intention. All of these things create problematics down the line. What we're looking to achieve as an awakened leader is a beautiful, coherent stream of a morphogenic field which self-organizes and self-regulates itself because of the clear, cognizant frequency and vibration of coherence that is in the field. And the more crystalline and high you can make that, the higher quality people you begin to attract into your organization who begin organizing themselves, and you suddenly find yourself surrounded by people far smarter than myself or yourself. And isn't that beautiful? Because together we achieve more by attracting the right talent into our organization. Your role is to have the why and the what, the direction and the purpose, and then that will crystallize and attract people to you and around you as you begin to move through into this beautiful, effortless creation that comes because holding an organization like this is effortless in intentionality when you've done enough work on your consciousness. And that means doing the shadow work and understanding how your bioenergy field works and working through the egoic deficiencies, meaning you have a stronger foundation to be able to create a stronger hara. As I say to people that choose to work with me and us, two things, you go very far in life, hara and heart. And with those two things, hara links into your intentionality, heart creates coherence, and everything you end up creating is an attractive field through your intentionality through a strong hara and heart. So there we have it. Another principle for an awakened leader is intentionality.